That's why I rock with him.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
That's why I rock with JV, man.
JV.
What's going on, y'all? It's JV, and we're back on the JV show. It's a Friday night, and I am itching for NFL football, so I'm fueling that passion through this podcast for you. I got a few final takes before the offseason wraps up. I'm going to get your way. A few things on my mind recently this week that I thought I'd just rattle off here, because why not? We got Thursday Night Football on the way. Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles. Dude, that is going to be a treat. No Micah Parsons, all the attention on Jerry Jones, hoping the Cowboys get smacked so he's the laughingstock, and maybe eventually he can hang up the cleats because they need a new owner. They need a new GM. Something's got to change over in Dallas. While you're here, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, do your thing. The support has been incredible this offseason, and we're gearing up for a massive NFL season here on the podcast. Tonight we got Lamar and the Ravens. We got NFL Top 100. I got a huge beef we got to settle with that. Houston Texans, and then talking about paying our non-quarterbacks, considering Micah just got paid an absolute bag with $47 million per year, $188 over 4 years with the Packers. Again, thanks for being with me tonight. And to kick things off, we're talking Lamar and the Ravens. Lamar is a future Hall of Famer. Let me lay out the foundation for the argument. Case is closed. Lamar is a future Hall of Famer. 2 MVPs. 3-time All-Pro, 3-time first-team All-Pro. The resume is there. The talent is there. The only thing missing is a Lombardi trophy, and I think he'll get to that eventually, maybe even this year. So if you want to knock Lamar for the playoff performances, that's fine. I don't think he's been incredible in the playoffs, but again, it's a team game. Last year, Mark Andrews drops a pass. What happens if he catches that and they move on? Do they beat the Chiefs? Does history change? Who knows, right? So you can knock Lamar for the playoffs, but as a talent, as a quarterback, oh, he's a Hall of Famer for sure. For what he's done, changing the game, yes, Lamar's a Hall of Famer. And I'll tell you one thing for sure. Lamar, as a talent, he's the best I've ever seen. Lamar's the most talented quarterback I've ever watched. Matter of fact, Lamar's the most talented player I've ever seen with my own eyes. We've never seen a quarterback so polarizing on the ground that we call him a running back in his rookie year. And now his biggest weakness has become a strong suit with his arm. Since 2021, Lamar's taken leaps every year in the passing game. He's improved pass attempts, completions, passing yards, passing touchdowns, and his interception totals have decreased every single year. Obviously, there is an asterisk beside 2022, but that's only because he was injured for a few games there. And he would have met all the numbers necessary to comply with the list that I just laid out. As a passer, Lamar is a complete threat at this point. And on the ground, you can't stop him. So then the question becomes, what do you do? From a defensive coordinator's perspective, there's one player in the league I would not want to mess with, and that is Lamar Jackson. I would absolutely hate it. He's the most talented guy I've ever watched, flat out. We talked for years about how dangerous Lamar would be with a true arm, with a pocket presence, and an ability to throw 3,500, 4,000 yards, 35-plus touchdowns, and now we got it. We laughed about Lamar's arm, and now we're paying the price. 4,200 yards, 41 touchdowns on 4 interceptions last year. So not only is Lamar a top 10 rushing threat in the league, but he's a top 5 passer in the league last season. And that's without a doubt a top 5 passer. So yeah, we got a problem over in Baltimore. And it's only in due time that he advances to a conference championship game again, to a Super Bowl, and then takes over. He's just so good. So damn talented. And then you want to talk about the Ravens. The Ravens got to do damage this year. This is the season for the Baltimore Ravens. John Harbaugh's got to get this thing done. He's on my hot seat. I got John Harbaugh on the hot seat because the team over in Baltimore is exceptional. Defense, fantastic. They went and upgraded the secondary. Jair Alexander, veteran. You got your Marlon Humphrey. You got your Kyle Hamilton, who you just paid. Monster deal. You bring in Malachi Starks from the draft at free safety. You got Mike Green putting pressure off the edge. This defense is a top 10 unit in the NFL. Then you got weapons on offense. You got the weapon in Lamar Jackson, Action Jackson. You got Derrick Henry. There is no more deviating away from the run in the playoffs. John Harbaugh's got to lock in, understand the identity of this offense, of this team, lean on that, and carry that through the playoff run. There is no more getting out-coached in the playoffs. Because the talent in Baltimore, you could argue, is top 3, top 2. I don't think it's up there with Philly yet, but it's getting really close. And Lamar is a big reason why. So they got to do damage. Like, if it's going to happen, it's got to happen right now. They're younger. They're bringing in guys from the draft that are going to make an impact immediately on day one. Derrick Henry, I mean, how many more years do we have out of him at a high level? It's got to happen right now. The Ravens could be the Super Bowl winners this year. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm a Bills guy, so it pains me to say this again. To cheer for Lamar because, I'm a Josh Allen guy. He's my dog, but Lamar's just so special, man. And I think one of these years, he's going to get it done. Now, I got a little bit of beef I got to settle here with myself, I guess, or talk about it. NFL Top 100 has been released, and I'm not going to go through the whole list and talk about this and that and nitpick. Obviously, things are going to be debated upon. I've never seen a top 100 NFL list that I've 100% agreed on, and everyone's been like, yeah, that's solid. It just doesn't happen, right? But what do I know, right? I'm not an executive. I'm not a player, a coach. I'm just analyzing from my TV in my room, my basement, right? My office here. But I will say one thing. Jared Goff above Jalen Hurts is a disgrace in the NFL Top 100. An absolute disgrace. It is disgraceful that they put Goff above Hurts. In the big moments, Jared Goff has disappeared. 2019 Super Bowl, his offense put up 3 points against the Patriots. 2025 divisional round, he had 4 turnovers against a dark horse Commanders team led by a rookie quarterback. He had 4 turnovers against the Commanders. Now, I 100% agree. I'll give you that. Jared Goff is a better pocket passer than Jalen Hurts, for sure. His completion percentage was off the charts last year. He was incredible in the regular season. But Jalen Hurts, all day, is my quarterback in a win-or-go-home situation. Game for my life, I'm taking Jalen Hurts over Jared Goff 10 out of 10 times. It's not even close. The intangibles, the leadership, the performances in big moments. Cool, calm, collected under pressure. The rushing threat. Jalen Hurts does it all. And at some point, it gets disrespectful when we got guys like Jared Goff ahead of him on the NFL Top 100. Jared Goff, for his entire career, has been blessed with the best offensive minds in football. Sean McVay, Ben Johnson. Look at the teams he's had. In LA, he had Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, who was a dog, Robert Woods, who was a dog at the time, Cooper Kupp. Over in Detroit, he's had J-Mo, St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery. Stacked rosters, great offensive lines. And so has Jalen Hurts. So that's why we can compare them. But one quarterback performs really well when the lights turn on. The other, not so much. Now, I'm pretty concrete with my quarterback ranking list. I don't mess around with Jalen at number 2 or number 3. There's a clear and cut big 4. Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow. But from 5 to 10, things can vary. The one thing that can't vary is Jalen Hurts behind Jared Goff. It just can't happen. Jalen Hurts is far more athletic. Jalen Hurts is far more versatile. He's more of a threat running the ball. He's better performing in the big moments. And he's got a solid arm. It's not like we're talking about a 2018 Lamar Jackson who's solely relying on his legs. So maybe the stats don't show it, but there is no way Jared Goff should have been ranked above Jalen Hurts in the NFL Top 100. That was my only beef. There's a ton of them we can go into, and I like Jared Goff, believe me. He could be a top 10 quarterback, just not above Jalen Hurts. Houston Texans, talking about top quarterbacks, CJ Stroud. I know he had a sophomore slump last year. Whatever. He's a playoff performer. Okay, CJ Stroud's a great playoff performer. But Houston, on the other hand, they confuse me. Houston is failing CJ Stroud. They've got the new iPhone, but they don't want to protect it with a case. It's confusing to me. You can't have the worst offensive line last year and then trade away your best O-lineman in Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders. It just doesn't add up. You have a top 5 defense. You got weapons all over the place. Nico Collins, Tank Dell. You had Stephon Diggs last year. You probably got Joe Mixon. You bring in Nick Chubb, Dameon Pierce. A lot of guys. CJ Stroud, baller, certified dog in the playoffs. Why aren't you protecting him? Just don't make no sense to me. I'm sorry. The only reason the Texans make the playoffs every year is because the AFC South is terrible. It is ass. Like, it stinks. Stinks. Like, it's bad. Colts, Jags, Titans. Nobody's touching that division this year. They should count their blessings. That O-line will never win a Super Bowl until it's cleaned up. And what's so ironic is they got the team to do it besides the O-line. But they just refuse to protect CJ Stroud. And I don't get it. It's the same situation with Burrow. Like, you saw how good Philly was last year, running the ball, passing the ball, how much time Jalen Hurts had, how great the blocks were set up for Saquon Barkley's success. That is all because their O-line was built first and fully drafted, by the way. Houston, on the other hand, trades away their best O-lineman, gives Stroud no time in the pocket, and as a result, he has a sophomore slump. No quarterback can do great things and perform at maximum capacity with that offensive line. I'm sorry, they just can't. Maybe unless you're Lamar. But then you're scrambling for your life. You got a franchise quarterback, you got to protect him. And once the Jags or the Colts or the Titans with Cam Ward make a breakthrough, the Texans will realize that. And hopefully they'll be in oh shit mode and try and recover and bring in some new linemen to protect for Stroud. It's mind-boggling to me, I'll tell you. Wrapping us up tonight, paying non-quarterbacks. So Micah got his new contract, $47 million per year with the Packers. Huge deal. $6 million more than TJ Watt, who was previously the number 1 paid non-quarterback at $41 million, I believe. Here's the thing, right? You can pay non-quarterbacks, but it's only under one condition. Well, many conditions for sure, but one condition, absolutely. You got to draft well, right? The only caveat to paying non-quarterbacks is drafting well. Just like the Packers, right? The Packers gave Micah Parsons $47 million because their roster is the youngest in the NFL, and they got guys on rookie deals. Look at Philly. They draft and recycle players and only lock down the essential foundation pieces to success. Niners too. The Niners moved off a ton of veterans this season, or this offseason, pardon me. The Niners moved off a ton of veterans this offseason because they don't want to pay these non-quarterbacks a ton of money when they're aging, when they're injured, and there's no youth on the roster. In the NFL, you have to win young. In an ideal world, you're winning with a rookie quarterback or with a quarterback on a rookie deal. That's the perfect world. Perfect world, you're winning with a quarterback on a rookie deal. You can pay your quarterback, but you cannot afford to pay non-quarterbacks like a Myles Garrett, like a TJ Watt, like a Max Crosby, like a Jamar Chase, if you don't draft well and you don't have a young team that's built to succeed. Because you'll lose. You'll lose and you'll fall to the bottom of the pile. I think the Packers are doing a decent job of that. Now, I'm not necessarily fully bought in on that roster this year. I still think that there are secondary troubles, and Jordan Love still got to prove that as a turnover machine, he can limit that. But, again, like I said, they got a really young roster. So they're set up to pay Micah Parsons $47 million per year. $188 million over 4 seasons. But guys like Jamar Chase, like T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow, you can't pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins max deals and not draft well. You can't pay Trey Hendrickson a 1-year deal worth $30 million and expect to be in a win-now situation when your O-line sucks and your defense sucks and you don't got guys from previous drafts to fill in. And I keep going back to Philly because they did this exceptionally well last year. They had Jalen Hurts on the deal, right? You had A.J. Brown. You had a few guys on the O-line who were getting paid big bucks. But look at the defense. You got Zach Bond, baller, who was on a small deal. Jalen Carter, I believe, still on a rookie deal. Quintamino Bay, I believe they call it. Rookie deal. Cooper DeJean, rookie deal. Lots of standout guys. Young, athletic, early on in their career, balling out for the team. And then they got to make the hard decisions. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, gone. Got to make the cuts. Got to make the tough decisions, but time to recycle them with the draft. So that's the thing with paying non-quarterbacks. Because you look at the list of the highest paid non-quarterbacks in the league, and a lot of them come from teams that are not even making the playoffs this year. Now, isn't that ironic? You got to handle your business if you're going to pay a non-quarterback a huge deal. That's all I'm going to say. That is a wrap on tonight's episode. This is really me just free-balling it. Didn't make too many notes for tonight, to be honest with you. I just wanted to get a few takes out there for y'all. Get prepared for this season. We're going to have a phenomenal year. If you got any questions, any thoughts, drop them down in the comments. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. I rarely say this, but go ahead. Reach out to me on Instagram. TikTok, I guess you can DM me too, at the JV Show. Show me some love. Let me know what you think, what you want to see this season. As always, I appreciate the love, and I will catch you soon in the next episode. Peace out, y'all.